Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
Look, 2020 has proven to be the year of many things, and the same for 2022. But if you're a small business, this could also be the year you switch to a better payroll. Gusto wasn't just built for small businesses, it was built for the people behind them. Their online payroll is easy to use. Gusto can automatically calculate paychecks and file all your payroll taxes, which means you have more time to run your business. Plus, Gusto does way more than payroll. Gusto helps with time tracking, health insurance, 401ks, onboarding, commuter benefits, offer letters, access to HR experts. You get the idea. It's super easy to set up and get started. If you're moving from another provider, they can transfer all your data for you. It's no surprise that 94% of customers are likely to recommend Gusto. And here's the best part. Because you're a listener to this podcast, you get 3 months totally free. All you have to do is go to gusto.com/compliance. That's gusto.com/compliance. I'm telling you, you're going to love Gusto. Get started today. The Daily Compliance News for September 18, 2021. The Sorry Rudy edition. And we begin with that story from the Wall Street Journal. Rudy Giuliani's request for evidence seized by the FBI is denied by the federal district court. He wanted a claim that it was attorney-client privileged information. Court appointed a special master earlier this year to review whether any material taken was protected under the attorney-client privilege. And the court denied Giuliani's request. Giuliani had disputed the legitimacy of the search warrants, but the district court upheld those as well. So it's unclear why Giuliani wanted some of the material destroyed, but not a good day for Rudy G. Next up, from the Risk and Compliance Journal at the Wall Street Journal, Dylan Tokar reporting, companies are grappling with questions about the COVID-19 mandate. They're going to try to implement Biden's mandate, but face logistical challenges and unanswered questions about how to comply, employment and compensation, lawyers say. Businesses are awaiting more details in the formal rules that OSHA plans to issue in the coming weeks. The biggest unknown will be who will be responsible for covering the cost for testing of employees who choose to remain unvaccinated. Under the mandate, all employers with 100 or more workers will have to require that their employees be vaccinated or undergo at least weekly COVID-19 testing. Employers that do not do so will face fines of up to $14,000. Next up, yesterday we reported on allegations of corruption against the current IMF chief who was at the World Bank and where she allegedly pressured bank auditors to change their findings. She said that she claimed that she didn't do so and that she would ask her staff to check and double check but never change and manipulate the data. You can clearly see that this is a parsing of some very fine words because when the boss comes down and says check and double check and triple check, that means they want you to change things. Next up, our final story is that the Department of Treasury wants to disrupt the financial underpinnings of the ransomware ecosystem by cutting the flow of money to hackers. The administration is moving to do so, preparing to sanction financial exchanges that facilitate delivery of illicit digital payments to hackers. The sanctions could be imposed as early as next week, and it's part of a broader move by the administration to deter ransomware attacks The fees are generally paid, and ransomware attacks are paid in cryptocurrency. So ransomware is now seen by the U.S. government as a criminal menace as well as a national security threat. So this really dovetails in with Biden's statement on a wide variety of areas in the business world that are seen as national security threats. Obviously, corruption is at the top of the list. All you have to do is look at the fall of Afghanistan, but ransomware is on it as well. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.